Hare Krishna. Namaste. Chapter 3, which is entitled as Karma Yoga, Sloka 27 and 28. Prakṛteḥ kriyamāṇāni guṇaiḥ sarvaśaḥ ahaṅkāra-vimūḍhātmā kartāham iti manyate tattva-vit mahā-bāho guṇa-karma-vibhāgayoḥ guṇeshu vartanta iti matvā na sajjate. The second sloka, tattva-vit mahā-bāho guṇa-karma-vibhāgayoḥ guṇeshu vartanta iti matvā na sajjate. In the sloka, how this Vidwan, he knows that he is not the doer. So the question is, since Vidwan thinks he is not the doer, does these Vidwan do anything at all? Or simply stay idle doing nothing like a lazy person? No action? No, a Vidwan will do the action for sure. Like the Avidwan who also does the action. Vidwan also does the action. The difference is from 27 sloka and 28 sloka is the Avidwan, when he performs the action, he thinks he is the doer. The 28 slokas we understand. Vidwan, when he does the action, he understands that he is not the doer. He has a proper understanding that he is within this body, which this body is being influenced by the three modes to do certain action. And this is the deep understanding which is missing for Avidwan. And he thinks he himself has the body, therefore the body is being influenced by the three modes, therefore he is influenced by the three modes, so therefore he is the one who is doing the action. What Krishna's advice is here is not to stop the action, but give up the idea of doership mentality, that I am the doer. Well, is it not that we are the doer actually? Are we not the one who is actually doing? There is a statement in the Brahma Sutra, karta shastratvātvat, which means that the doer is self, Atma. Whereas Krishna says here, Atma is not the doer. How do we understand this conflict? Atma is not the only doer. That's what Krishna is actually trying to say. Is it true that no one really is a doer? No. For any action to be performed, there are 5 factors are needed, involved. Those are Paramatma, Jivatma, the Indriyas, the Pancha Prana, and the body. These are the 5 factors that's needed for any action to be performed. And therefore this is the reason why Krishna says we are not the doer. Or in other words, to be more exact, we are not the only doer, because there are other 4 factors who are involved for us to perform, for one to complete any task. The reason why one should feel is not the doer, it is the 3 modes, the gunas, because if the 3 modes doesn't influence one will not do any action. Therefore it is the 3 mode which does. The 3 modes influences, and therefore the person does an action. Therefore one can say it is not me, the material nature, the 3 gunas are the cause of any action that we perform. The body and the 3 modes are combined, and the activities done by the body is actually directed and influenced by these 3 modes, sattva, rajas and tamas, mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. If one does understand this clearly, that person will not get attached to the action and also knows he is not the doer. It is the three modes that influences the body and does the action. But for one who thinks the body to be the self, thinks the three modes attached to the self itself and cannot be removed. Therefore, not understanding the difference, instead of knowing that it is a three mode that does the action, he thinks he is the doer. That is the meaning of the sloka. Let's see a little more in detail. Coolness is an inherent quality of water. Through contact with heater and heating instrument, the cold water becomes hot. And the same cold water, when it comes in contact with the freezer, it becomes frozen. Thus, coolness is the inherent quality of the water, and the cold or a hot are the acquired quality. It's not actually, it's natural quality, it's an acquired quality. Similarly, the natural disposition of the self is experiencing of Bhagavan. The rest of the things are all acquired, not natural. There is no difference between Atma on this. They all meant to experience God. Not only certain Atma are meant to experience God, the others are meant to experience God. All the Atmas, there's no difference, are meant to experience God. But all do not think the same or act in the same way. Even the same person does not behave in the same way at all the times. This is because of the influence of the prakrti, the material nature. We have relationship with the body and indriyas, the senses, which are nothing but the byproduct, the product of the prakrti. And they are subject to three qualities, sattva, rajas and tamas. These qualities undergo modification in us. And this modification is based on our earlier karma, number one. And number two is the food that we intake. When one of these qualities become dominant, it becomes more dynamic and its action predominates. And hence we are pulled by desires and anger and lust and greed and etc. etc. We do certain actions. But in reality, the self has neither desire nor anger nor lust, greed, nothing. These come about because of the connection with the prakrti, the material nature, the Atma in connection with the material nature. When the quality of rajas is predominant, we experience strong desires, anger, etc. Therefore, by that we do some improper activities. We only do these acts, not someone else. We are the one who's doing these actions, not someone else. But the fact is that these activities are performed by us under the influence of the three modes. Therefore, it is to be realized that the doership of the activities of the material world is not inherent, but it is imposed on the self, on us. So maybe an example will help to understand what we have discussed so far. To conclude today's sloka, consider the case of good boy who would never indulge in any wrong things. Very nice boy, well behaved, good character, respectful and responsible. But of late, that boy has fallen into some bad company, friends, and is noticed to be engaged in some improper activities. Because he does them, he can be said to be the doer of the bad deeds. Because he's doing those bad improper activities, we can say he is the one who's doing these bad things. Number one. But this can be viewed differently. How? As he does not perform these deeds on his own will, but only due to the influence of the bad company that he had, it can be said that he is not the doer. In the same way, hope this helps to understand what we've been discussing so far with this example. Like in the same way, we perform inappropriate activities due to our involvement with Prakriti and its modes, sattva, rajas and tamas. So we do not act this way on our own. This is happening because of the influence of the three modes. Therefore, the doers are the three modes, not me. And this is the essence of this topic. But that does not mean to say that we all can do mistake and escape saying it's not me, it is the three modes which is being doing. Then the whole purpose of learning Bhagavad Gita, the whole purpose of Dharma Shastra, the whole purpose of having the Vedic scriptures, everything will become of no use. Because everything is given for the mankind to perfect themselves, to become not influenced by these three modes and transcend above these modes. The topic about the Prakriti, the three modes, will be elaborately discussed when we go to chapter 14. Prakrti kriyamāṇāni guṇaiḥ-karmāṇi sarvaśaḥ ahaṅkāra-vimūḍhātmā kartāham iti manyate tattva-vit mahā-bāho guṇa-karma-vibhāgayoḥ guṇeshu vartanta iti matvā sajjate. Namaste. Hare Krishna.